What if the universe didn't start as a tiny point that suddenly exploded, but as a pot of boiling energy that simply cooled down and settled into structure step by step? In the energy filament theory, the universe begins not with a clean mathematical point of infinite density, but with a dense, high-tension, totally chaotic lump of energy, more like a pot of ultra-thick soup on maximum heat. So dense it can't easily expand, so hot it can't simply blow itself apart, and so messy it has no meaningful direction at all. At first it is just raw, boiling energy mush. Every tiny patch is slamming, tearing and colliding with every other patch. Like a stew so thick the spoon could almost stand up. The first big change is not an explosion. It is that this chaos melts into something continuous. The way molten metal at high temperature stops behaving like separate chunks and becomes one connected fluid sheet. In that cooling and smoothing, the energy mush knits itself into a single, continuous energy sea. Once that sea exists, the universe's behavior changes completely. Because this sea has three basic abilities, it can be pulled tighter or allowed to relax. And it can start to prefer certain directions over others. Those three abilities, tight, loose, and directional, are the source of everything that follows. From there, the next miracle is that direction grows out of pure chaos on its own. If you stir a very thick soup, the first few seconds are pure mess. Every swirl fights every other swirl. But keep stirring and you'll notice that one direction starts to feel smoother. Your spoon naturally follows it, and the flow lines begin to align. Each time you follow the easy path, you reinforce it until clear streamlines appear. The early energy sea is like that. Its violent ripples slam around randomly, but in some tiny regions certain directions are slightly easier for disturbances to travel. So more and more motion follows those directions, which makes them even smoother and even more preferred. And eventually the first long, coherent direction patterns are squeezed out of the chaos. The earliest directional textures of the universe. Once these textures exist, a third transformation kicks in. Those directions get pulled into filaments. It's like lifting your spoon out of a boiling, sticky soup and seeing thin strings stretching out between the spoon and the surface. When a directional trend is long enough and stable enough, the energy sea along that line is pulled tighter and tighter until it turns from a vague tendency into a real, tense strand. The path is scattered textures, pulled straighters, strongly aligned, drawn into threads. According to this picture, particles, fields and all stable structures do not come first and then somehow arrange themselves. They are born out of these threads. The threads are the scaffolding, and particles are the knots and rings that form on them. The story you grew up with is usually bangs, space, particles, galaxies, but here the order is very different and much more physical. Boiling, cooling, continuous sea, emergent directions, tension textures, filaments, particles, large-scale structure. In this view, the cosmic beginning is no longer a mysterious point that just pops into existence. It is a natural cooling process where disorder first becomes a connected medium, then gains directions, then hardens those directions into lines of tension. That also explains a deeper observational fact: galaxies and clusters are not spread evenly. They grow along filaments and nodes of a cosmic web, because those filaments in the energy sea were already written into the background before particles ever formed. Direction is not chosen by matter, it is supplied by the sea. And matter simply slides and settles along pre-existing strands like dust gathering along cracks in drying mud. The universe, in this telling, is not the aftermath of a single giant blast but the end result of energy boiling, then cooling, then quietly organizing itself from mush into sea, from sea into directions, from directions into filaments, and only then into the material world you see. Tap follow, share it on New Physics, Clear Universe.